Okay, well, today I have one thing that I got some of sources about Notebook LLM. It's powered by Google. It's one platform actually new, and well, say we back to this book. Actually, this book was written by Karen Krishnelli from the Buckle University. It provides guidance for writing in biology, specifically in the fifth edition, published in 2019. And using this platform, Notebook LLM, actually, it allowing us to making some of the mind map, including the video. I wanna generate this one, and also it actually takes time, but no matter. And well, yesterday I was already made the mind map about this one, and let's we talk take a look to the book structure. Here is it. So the mind map is like this. This book actually contains 8 chapters for all the book. Student handbook for writing in biology. The first chapters tell us about the scientific method, and the first and foremost about the handbook is actually a preface about this book. It tell us about the author Karen Nisley, and yeah, it allows us to doing kind of brainstorm according to this specific source. And the publisher was in our Associates Inc. This was published in 2017. The goal of this book is practical resource for scientific communication, and the content overview preface target audience biology students or those who want looking for the methodology related to this book, especially biology writing or scientific communication handbook. In case if you are from agricultural faculty, still related to use this book as the source for your. And well, take a look to this another things in this book. Should I want to make a kind of playlist to talk about this book thoroughly and adding some of research for each the chapters. For an example, the scientific method. I want to discuss or explain about this chapter. As we see here, chapter 1 contains about the foundation of biological knowledge and also step to better seeing about this book. We could minimize this one and the steps like this. Uh, let's say in the foundation of biological knowledge, the first thing first, you have to ask questions, measurable or controllable. Look for answers, secondary references, new questions. So here you getting know into references, both primary sources or secondary sources. Also, you're adding new questions about it as your research, and then turn questions into hypotheses, testable, supported, and negated. Creating design an experiment from scratch, including experimental design, also being a discussion in this book, observational versus experimental studies. What is observation? What is experimental? In case you are not understand well about this one, you easily click on this topic, and voila, the notebook LLM by Google will adding some of additional thinking about this one. In the context of design and experiment, the sources distinguish between observational studies and experimental studies as two different approaches to scientific investigation, with clear differences in their methodology and in the types of conclusion that can be drawn. The second is observational studies. Definition. In an observational studies, scientists observe individuals and measure variables of interest without trying to control the variables or influence the response. So that's the main things differentiation between observational studies and also purpose or experimental studies. And we can minimize this one or just like expand the window. Well, after you set up the observational or experimental studies, you could divide variables like this. The variables, including what thing that you want to observe in your research, independent or explanatory, manipulated, dependent or response, measure response, or control kept constant. Then set up treatment or control groups, random assignment, determine level of treatment you have to determine. For example, in this case, you having kind of composition. Let's say you wanna doing a observation on the influence of fertilizer into plants, let's say, and you could determine level of treatment, including the dosage, including the concentration of any treatment that you give to your plants, for instance, and provide enough replicates statistically validity. I mean, like there are several rules, or I mean, like a rule of thumb while we treating the replicates. For example, in case of in my research, it was taking minimal 5 replicates with around 4 and 5 treatments, and the units of let's say observations, we call it the units of observations, is coming from the replicates times the treatment. For example, you're having 5 different treatments. Let's say P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5, or T1, T2, etc. T5. You're also having like um you have also like 5 another replicates. So 5 times 5 is 25. In general research from in case from bachelor degree, it at least 25 is was the bare minimum, and each of focus having different minimum or bare minimum in it. And this also align with the enough replicates statistical validity and making prediction for hypothesis support or null hypothesis. My God, so I can forget actually. Uh, well, 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 well. Okay, good. I want to test it. So